The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the pleasant background noise of diplomacy. Representative species from 100 worlds mingled beneath the vaulted crystal dome of Emergency Station Gamma. Some floated on anti-gravity discs, others slithered across polished floors, while many walked on various configurations of limbs. The air recyclers worked overtime, mixing dozens of atmospheric combinations to keep everyone comfortable. Speaker Nora adjusted her translation device and surveyed the chamber with satisfaction. 10 years of peace had brought prosperity to this sector. Trade agreements, cultural exchanges, and scientific collaboration flourished under the Council's guidance. Her 3 terms as Speaker had been marked by unprecedented cooperation, until the emergency broadcast interrupted everything. "Speaker, urgent transmission from Kepler 442b," her aide whispered, passing a datapad with trembling appendages. Nora's expression darkened as she read the message. Kepler 442b, a peaceful vegan agricultural colony with nearly 40,000 inhabitants. The vegans were known throughout the galaxy as gentle farmers, their crystalline cities marvels of sustainable architecture. "Put it on the main screen," she ordered. The council chamber fell silent as static filled the massive display. Then, a terrified voice broke through. "Our cities are burning! Help us!" The transmission cleared momentarily, revealing a vegan huddled beneath a shattered crystal table. Behind them, flashes of weapons fire illuminated the darkness. "Raiders!" the vegan gasped. "Hundreds of them! They want our agricultural synthesis technology. They're taking hostages, burning everything." A child's scream pierced the background before the transmission cut to static. The council erupted in panic. Representatives shouted questions and demands simultaneously, while Nora conferred urgently with her military advisors. "How soon can our peacekeeping forces arrive?" she demanded. Admiral Tal, a tall Firan with iridescent skin, shook his head. 3 days minimum. Our nearest patrol is escorting the Novan diplomatic envoy." "The vegans don't have 3 days!" Nora slammed her fist down. "Options." Silence fell across her advisors. The Galactic Council's peacekeepers were spread thin, prioritizing diplomacy over military presence, an oversight that now meant thousands might die. Ambassador John Reed from Earth's embassy rose from his seat at the back of the chamber. Humans were newcomers to the Galactic Council, admitted only 5 years ago after heated debate. Many species feared these Deathworlders from a high-gravity, radiation-bathed planet with extreme weather and dangerous fauna. Humans' remarkable adaptability and combat effectiveness made them objects of both fascination and terror. "Earth can help," Reed stated simply. The chamber went silent again, but for different reasons. Earth's rapid response fleet had a fearsome reputation, and an equally fearsome price tag for deployment. "What would you ask in return, Ambassador?" asked a suspicious Nocturne representative, their glowing eyes narrowing. "Mining rights? Technology transfers?" Reed's expression remained neutral. "Nothing. This is what neighbors do." Nora studied him carefully. Politics required skepticism, but desperation required action. "How quickly?" "The Defiant is currently in the Epsilon sector, returning from a training exercise. With your authorization, they could reach Kepler 442b in under 20 hours. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. 20 hours was impossible unless— "You'd use the forbidden jump paths through the asteroid field?" asked Admiral Tal incredulously. Reed nodded once. "Captain Martinez has navigated worse." Nora knew what this meant. The Council had deemed those routes too dangerous for conventional ships, but Earth vessels were built differently. The chamber erupted in arguments again. species debating the wisdom of unleashing human soldiers versus allowing the slaughter of innocents. Nora silenced them with a gesture. 40,000 lives hang in the balance. I'm authorizing Earth's intervention. She fixed Reed with a stern look. But I want constant updates, and your forces withdraw immediately after the colony is secured. Reed bowed slightly. Understood. I'll contact Captain Martinez immediately. As the ambassador left to send the transmission, Admiral Tall leaned close to Nora. You realize you've just invited predators into a garden? Nora watched Reed's retreating form. Sometimes, Admiral, you need predators to drive away wolves. 6 hours later, the crew of the Earth vessel Defiant gathered in the briefing room. Captain Jake Martinez, a compact man with close-cropped black hair and eyes that missed nothing, stood before the tactical display. Listen up, people. We've got a situation on Kepler 442b. He tapped the console, bringing up images of crystalline structures rising from verdant plains. Vegan colony, approximately 40,000 civilians, currently under attack by an unknown raider force estimated at 200 combatants. Lieutenant Alex Thompson, tactical officer, leaned forward. Objective, sir? Save the civilians. Neutralize the threat. Martinez replied. Simple in theory. Lieutenant Lisa Park, chief medical officer, studied the physiological data scrolling past. Vegans are silicon-based. Captain, their biochemistry is radically different from anything we've encountered before. I'll need time to synthesize compatible medical supplies. You've got 18 hours. Doctor, make it happen. Sergeant Tom Rodriguez, chief engineer, pointed to the crystalline structures. Those buildings are grown, not built. The entire city resonates at specific frequencies. Could be tactically useful. Martinez nodded. Work up some options. Lieutenant Thompson, what's our insertion plan? Thompson manipulated the display, showing orbital approaches. Standard procedure would be to establish orbit, deploy shuttles, and set up a perimeter. And the raiders would see us coming from light years away. Martinez countered. We need something unexpected. Thompson's eyes lit up with understanding. Atmospheric insertion? It's never been attempted at jump velocity. Exactly. Martinez expanded the display. We'll take the Cygnus shortcut through the asteroid belt, then drop directly into Kepler's atmosphere. No orbital approach, no warning. Rodriguez whistled low. The ship can handle it, but the G-forces will be substantial, Martinez finished. But we've trained for worse. This gives us our best chance of surprise. Lieutenant Park frowned. And if we miscalculate, we could end up as a very expensive crater. Martinez smiled thinly. Then we'll be a very patriotic crater. Doctor, prep your teams. Full combat load. Medical supplies for 40,000 vegans. And engineering tools for whatever we find down there. We jump in 30 minutes. As the officers dispersed, Martinez remained studying the display. Ambassador Reed had been clear. This wasn't just a rescue mission, but a chance to demonstrate Earth's value to the Galactic Council. 40,000 lives and Earth's diplomatic future hung in the balance. Captain, his communications officer called. We've received additional intelligence from Kepler. A local teacher managed to transmit building schematics and raider positions. Martinez nodded. Route it to all team leaders. And get this teacher on comms if possible. Local knowledge will be crucial. The officer hesitated. Sir, the teacher. He's afraid of us. Says humans are known as death agents in their folklore. Martinez sighed. Tell him we may be Deathworlders. But today, death comes only for those who brought violence to his home. The Defiant slipped silently through space. its advanced stealth systems masking its approach from conventional sensors. In the pilot's chair, Martinez monitored their course through the asteroid field, a chaotic jumble of rocks and ice fragments that most species considered impassable. Adjusting trajectory by 0.3 degrees, he murmured, hands dancing across controls. The massive vessel responded instantly, slipping between two house-sized asteroids with mere meters to spare. Lieutenant Thompson watched from the tactical station, knuckles white. Conventional wisdom says this route is suicide, sir. Conventional wisdom wasn't born on Earth, Martinez replied, not taking his eyes from the instruments. When you grow up navigating hurricane winds and dodging predators, space rocks seem manageable. A proximity alarm blared as a previously undetected asteroid tumbled into their path. "Incoming!" shouted the sensor officer. Martinez didn't hesitate. He rolled the massive ship 90 degrees starboard, threading the needle between the new threat and an established obstacle. The hull groaned under the strain of the maneuver. "Ship status?" he demanded. "All systems nominal." Rodriguez reported from engineering. "Though I'd appreciate fewer heart attacks before lunch, Captain." Martinez allowed himself a small smile. "Noted. Sergeant, we're clear of the field. Prepare for jump acceleration." The stars outside blurred as the Defiant's experimental drive engaged, compressing space ahead and expanding it behind. Physics strained but didn't break as the ship pushed the boundaries of what was theoretically possible. In the medical bay, Lieutenant Park braced herself against a bulkhead as the acceleration pressed everyone into their seats. Around her, her team continued preparing medical supplies calibrated for vegan physiology. "How do you treat someone whose blood is basically liquid crystal?" muttered one medic. "Very carefully," Park replied, checking a formula on her tablet. "Their cellular structure is fascinating, silicon-based, but with remarkable parallels to our own. They're susceptible to different pathogens, but trauma is trauma across species." She held up a vial of synthesized coagulant. "This should work on their equivalent of blood vessels. If not, we improvise." Throughout the ship, 40 men and women checked equipment, reviewed tactical plans, and prepared for combat. They represented Earth's finest: soldiers, engineers, medics, and specialists chosen for both their skills and their adaptability. 18 hours later, the Defiant approached Kepler 442b. Long-range scans revealed a raider vessel in orbit, a cobbled-together monstrosity bristling with stolen weapons systems. "They've spotted us," Thompson reported. "They're powering weapons." "Too late," Martinez said calmly. "Execute atmospheric drop." What happened next would later be described in Galactic Council records as tactically unprecedented. The Defiant, still moving at near-jump velocity, angled directly toward the planet and plunged into its upper atmosphere. Alarms screamed throughout the ship as friction superheated the hull. Inertial dampeners strained against forces they were never designed to counteract. In engineering, Rodriguez and his team worked frantically to maintain structural integrity. "Hull temperature approaching critical," someone shouted. "Rerouting coolant," Rodriguez responded. "Hold together, you beautiful beast." On the bridge, Martinez remained focused, making minute course corrections as the ship hurtled toward the crystalline city below. The raider vessel in orbit fired futilely at their wake, unable to track their meteoric descent. "Prepare for combat landing," Martinez ordered. "All teams to drop positions." The Defiant broke through cloud cover, a man-made comet streaking toward the heart of the vegan colony. Below, raiders scattered in panic as the massive Earth vessel descended toward the central plaza. At the last possible moment, retro thrusters fired at maximum power. The ship decelerated with bone-crushing force, settling onto its landing struts with a ground-shaking impact that shattered crystal pathways for 50 meters in every direction. Before the dust settled, deployment ramps slammed down and Earth's rapid response team poured out, weapons ready. "Welcome to Kepler 442b, Martinez announced over the team channel. "Let's get to work."
Yes.
The crystalline city sparkled under twin suns, its once beautiful structures now marred by weapons fire and smoke. Captain Martinez led his team from the Defiant's main ramp, taking in the situation with practiced efficiency. 4 teams, he ordered. Alpha secures the perimeter. Beta establishes a medical center in the ship. Gamma with me to locate hostages. Delta, find high ground and provide overwatch. Lieutenant Thompson organized the tactical response, dispatching soldiers with precise instructions. Defensive positions at these junctions, interlocking fields of fire. Remember, we protect civilians at all costs. The raiders, initially scattered by the Defiant's dramatic arrival, were regrouping quickly. Shots rang out from multiple directions, energy weapons and primitive projectiles alike, finding targets among the crystalline structures. "Contact front," shouted a soldier as return fire erupted. Martinez moved his team forward methodically, using the crystal buildings for cover. The material was surprisingly resilient, deflecting glancing shots but shattering catastrophically under direct fire. "Movement right," called his point man. "Civilians." A group of vegans huddled behind a fallen crystal column, their translucent bodies trembling visibly. One rose slightly, 4 arms raised in a gesture of supplication or surrender. "We're here to help," Martinez called, activating his translation device. "Earth rapid response." The vegan's multifaceted eyes widened. "The Deathworlders came," it asked incredulously. "Yeah, that's right," Martinez confirmed. "The Galactic Council sent us. Where are the raiders concentrating their forces?" The vegan's crystalline appendage pointed toward a massive structure dominating the city center. "The community hall. They've taken hundreds inside. Our leader. Our children." Lieutenant Park approached with her medical team. "Are there wounded here?" The vegan hesitated, clearly torn between fear of the humans and need for assistance. "I understand your biology," Park said gently. "Silicon-based, crystalline cellular structure. We've synthesized compatible treatments." "You would help us?" asked another vegan, emerging slowly from hiding. That's why we're here," Park assured them. The first vegan stepped forward. "I am Teacher Ben. I sent the building schematics." Martinez nodded. "Your information is invaluable. We need to know more about the community hall's layout." As they spoke, the sound of combat intensified across the city. Lieutenant Thompson's voice crackled over the comm. "Captain, we've engaged approximately 50 raiders at the western approach. They're well armed but disorganized. No uniform tactics or equipment. Mercenaries," Martinez concluded. "Or pirates. Hold position and continue engagement." Teacher Ben produced a small device that projected a 3-dimensional image of the community hall. "The raiders entered here and here," he indicated. "They've disabled our communication crystals and established barricades at each entrance." Sergeant Rodriguez studied the projection intently. "The entire structure is one giant crystal matrix, isn't it? Like your buildings, but more complex." "Yes," Ben confirmed. "It amplifies sound for our gatherings and celebrations." Rodriguez exchanged a significant look with Martinez. "Captain, I have an idea, but I'll need time and access to their technology." "Explain," Martinez prompted. "These crystal structures resonate at specific frequencies. If we can identify the right harmonic pattern, We might be able to make portions of the crystal temporarily transparent. See-through walls? Martinez considered the tactical implications. How long? Give me 1 hour with their technology and 2 of my engineers. Martinez nodded. Take what you need. Thompson. Maintain perimeter. Park. Establish triage here and prepare for casualties. I want constant updates on raider movements. As the teams dispersed to their assignments, Martinez studied the distant community hall. Sunlight refracted through its damaged crystal spires, casting rainbows across the battlefield, beautiful and deadly, much like this entire mission. Teacher Ben approached hesitantly. Captain of Earth, the Raiders. They came for our agricultural synthesis technology. It can grow food on barren worlds. Valuable tech, Martinez acknowledged. Worth killing for. They decided. Ben's crystalline body dimmed slightly, the vegan equivalent of sorrow. We are not warriors. You don't have to be, Martinez assured him. That's why we're here. Ben studied him with multifaceted eyes. The stories say humans come from a world of constant death, that you evolved as predators. Martinez checked his weapon while scanning the surroundings. The stories aren't wrong. Earth forged us through adversity. But what matters isn't where you're from. It's what you choose to do with the strength you've gained. A nearby explosion punctuated his words, and Martinez immediately shifted to combat stance, shielding the vegan with his body. Today, he continued after confirming no immediate threat, we choose to protect your people. Now, in the makeshift engineering lab aboard the Defiant, Sergeant Rodriguez and his team worked frantically. Vegan crystal technology lay disassembled across workbenches as they interfaced Earth equipment with alien components. The resonance patterns are incredible, Rodriguez muttered. Quantum-level harmonic structures. Their entire technology is based on precisely controlled vibrations. His second engineer looked up from a complex formula. I think I've got it. Sergeant, if we broadcast this frequency pattern, it should temporarily change the optical properties of the crystal, making solid walls transparent, Rodriguez finished. But only for specific sections we target. We'll need precision transmitters placed around the community hall. He tapped his comm. Captain, we've got a working theory. We need to place 6 transmitter nodes at these coordinates. He sent the data. Once activated, they'll create a resonance field that should let us see through specific crystal walls for approximately 30 seconds per pulse. Martinez's voice came back, punctuated by weapons fire. We're pinned down 200 meters from the hall. How close do these transmitters need to be? Within 50 meters of the target sections, Rodriguez replied. And they need line of sight to each other. So right in the middle of the heaviest fighting, Martinez concluded. Perfect. Lieutenant Thompson joined the channel. Sir, I have snipers in position on 3 rooftops with overlapping fields of fire. If we can see the hostages and raiders, we can coordinate a precision strike. And if we time it right, Martinez added, we can create enough confusion for a direct assault. Rodriguez gathered the completed transmitters. There's one more thing. Captain, the raiders are using outdated kinetic weapons, bullets and explosives. Our body armor should be effective. While the vegans have no protection at all, Martinez observed grimly. How soon can you deploy? Equipment ready in 5 minutes. Sir, move to our position. We go as soon as you arrive. Outside, the battle for Kepler 442b intensified. Raiders had recognized the Earth forces as the primary threat and concentrated their attacks accordingly. Energy weapons and projectiles created a deadly crossfire around the Defiant's landing zone. In the medical bay, Lieutenant Park worked steadily, treating wounded vegans and humans alike. The crystalline anatomy of the locals presented unique challenges, but her team adapted quickly. Their equivalent of blood vessels seal differently. She explained to a medic, "Use the blue compound for lacerations, the green for structural fractures." A wounded soldier gritted his teeth as Park treated a plasma burn on his shoulder. "How are the locals holding up, Doctor?" "Remarkably well," she replied. "They're physically fragile but resilient in their own way. Their crystal matrix can actually regenerate if given the right conditions." Outside the medical bay, Teacher Ben coordinated with other vegans, organizing them to support the human defenders. Despite their peaceful nature, the locals transported supplies, cared for their wounded, and provided crucial information about city layout and raider movements. Martinez established his command post behind a fallen crystal pillar, coordinating the battle via his tactical display. "Rodriguez, what's your status?" "Approaching your position, sir. 30 seconds. Thompson, prepare your teams for the final push. Park, we'll need medical teams standing by." Rodriguez arrived, distributing the transmitter nodes to designated soldiers. Once placed, they'll synchronize automatically. We'll have control from this remote. Martinez studied the schematic of the community hall one final time. The resonance effect. Will it harm the vegans inside? No, sir. It affects only the crystal's optical properties, not its structural integrity. Then let's move. Deploy the transmitters. Coordinated approach from 3 sides. On my mark. Earth soldiers advanced methodically through the crystalline streets. Using urban combat techniques honed on 100 worlds, raiders fell back before their disciplined approach, unaccustomed to facing trained military opposition. "Transmitter 1 in position," reported the first team. 2 and 3 placed, came another voice. One by one, the devices were positioned around the community hall, soldiers braving intense fire to reach their designated locations. "Taking heavy fire at position 5, shouted a soldier. "Cannot advance." "Cover fire," Martinez ordered, then spoke directly to the pinned team. "Hold position. Thompson, can your snipers clear that approach?" Working on it, sir." Precision shots rang out from Earth sniper positions, eliminating raiders with surgical precision. The path cleared momentarily. "Moving now!" The soldier darted forward, placing the 5th transmitter before diving behind cover as return fire erupted around him. 5 in position. "Final transmitter," Martinez announced, checking his weapon. "I'll place it myself. Cover fire on my mark." "Mark!" The captain sprinted across open ground as his soldiers laid down suppressive fire. Raiders scattered before the barrage, unable to target the swiftly moving human. Martinez reached the final position, secured the transmitter, and signaled completion. All transmitters in place. "Rodriguez, activate the system." In the engineering lab, Rodriguez initiated the sequence. Resonance field activating in 3, 2, 1. Around the community hall, the transmitters hummed to life, generating an invisible field of precisely tuned vibrations. The crystal walls of the structure began to change, their opacity shifting as the resonance affected their molecular structure. "It's working," Thompson reported from his observation post. "I can see through the eastern wall. Approximately 70 hostages in the main chamber, 20 raiders using them as shields." Martinez studied the tactical feed on his display. Additional raiders on the upper level, heavy weapons positioned at each entrance. "They're expecting a frontal assault, which we won't give them." Thompson concluded, "Sir, with the walls transparent, our snipers can take out the heavy weapon positions simultaneously, and the raiders won't even know their positions are compromised." Martinez agreed. "Rodriguez, How long will the transparency effect last? 30 seconds per pulse. Sir, we can activate it 3 more times before the crystal structure adapts. Martinez formulated his plan quickly. All teams, prepare for coordinated strike. Snipers target heavy weapons on my mark. Assault teams at all entrances. Medical teams standing by. He checked the synchronized mission timer. Transparency pulse in 30 seconds. Execute on my command. Throughout the city, Earth forces moved into final positions. Snipers calibrated their sights. Assault teams checked weapons, and medical personnel prepared for casualties. Pulse activating, Rodriguez announced. Once again, the crystal walls of the community hall became transparent from the outside, revealing the positions of every raider inside while they remained unaware of their sudden vulnerability. All snipers, fire, Martinez ordered calmly. 8 shots rang out simultaneously. 8 raiders manning heavy weapons collapsed, before the others could react. Martinez gave his next command. All teams, breach now! Earth forces stormed all entrances simultaneously as confusion erupted among the raiders. Inside, hostage-takers found themselves targeted with precise fire from outside the supposedly solid walls. This is Captain Martinez of Earth's Rapid Response Force. His amplified voice boomed throughout the structure. We can see every one of you. Release the hostages and surrender immediately. To demonstrate his point, another pulse of transparency swept through the building, exposing raider positions once more. Panic spread through the raider ranks as their positions became indefensible. Some threw down weapons immediately, while others fought desperately, only to be neutralized by precise fire from seemingly impossible angles. The battle for the community hall ended in less than 5 minutes. Raider resistance collapsed throughout the city as news spread of their leader's capture or elimination. In the aftermath, Lieutenant Park led medical teams through the liberated building, treating vegan injuries with expertise that belied their alien physiology. Lieutenant Thompson secured prisoners while Sergeant Rodriguez's engineers began repairing critical infrastructure. Captain Martinez stood in the central plaza, surveying the damage and coordinating relief efforts. Teacher Ben approached, accompanied by several vegan elders whose crystalline bodies shimmered with renewed hope. You saved our city, Ben said simply. When the Galactic Council spoke of Deathworlders, we imagined monsters. Martinez watched as his soldiers helped vegan children reunite with their families. Sometimes the most dangerous species make the most determined protectors. Teacher, we know the value of life precisely because we come from a world where it's constantly threatened. The council was wise to send you, one elder acknowledged, though I suspect they debated extensively. Martinez smiled slightly. Politics usually moves slower than raiders. Fortunately, Earthships move faster than both. Which, 3 days later, the situation on Kepler 442b had stabilized. Captured raiders awaited transport to Galactic Council detention facilities. The Defiance engineers had restored critical systems and established defensive measures around the colony. In the medical bay, Lieutenant Park conducted final checks on recovering vegans. Your regenerative abilities are remarkable, she told a young vegan whose crystalline arm was slowly reforming. With proper nutrient solutions, you'll be fully healed within a week. Will you teach our healers your methods? The patient asked. Already done, Park assured them. We've transferred all our research and synthesized supplies to last until your own facilities are operational again. Throughout the city, Sergeant Rodriguez supervised installation of early warning systems and defensive shields. These will give you time to call for help if raiders return, he explained to a group of vegan technicians. and these communication enhancements will ensure your distress calls reach the Galactic Council immediately. But will help come as quickly next time? Asked one technician. Rodriguez considered this. That's a political question, not a technical one. But between us, I think Earth just proved its value to the Council. On the bridge of the Defiant, Captain Martinez received a transmission from Speaker Nora. Captain, the Council has reviewed your mission reports with great interest. She began formally. Then her expression softened slightly. 40,000 lives saved with minimal civilian casualties. Even your most vocal critics are impressed. Thank you. Speaker, my team performed admirably. Indeed. Nora leaned forward. The Council is discussing a permanent rapid response agreement with Earth. Your demonstration of both effectiveness and restraint has shifted perspectives. Martinez maintained his professional demeanor, though the diplomatic implications were significant. We're honored to serve the greater galactic community. Speaker, your orders are to return to Earth space once the vegan colony is secure. The Council will be in touch through diplomatic channels regarding future arrangements. After the transmission ended, Martinez gazed out at the crystalline city below. What had begun as an emergency response might well become Earth's permanent role in galactic affairs, protectors rather than feared outsiders. Lieutenant Thompson joined him on the bridge. Engineers report all defensive systems operational. Sir, medical has discharged the last critical patients. We're ready to depart on your order. Martinez nodded. Prepare for departure in 2 hours. I want one final security sweep and confirmation that local authorities can maintain order. Yes, sir. Thompson hesitated. Permission to speak freely? Granted. The crew is proud of what we accomplished here. Not just the tactical victory, but the lives saved. Thompson gestured toward the view screen, showing vegans and humans working side by side to rebuild. Many of us joined Rapid Response because Earth needed to prove itself to the galaxy. This mission feels like we've taken a significant step. Martinez considered his tactical officer's words. The galaxy fears us because we evolved on a world that tried to kill us daily. They see our capacity for violence without understanding that the same traits make us uniquely suited for protection. Deathworlders as guardians. Thompson mused. Has a certain poetic irony. Poetic or not, it's who we are. Martinez replied, prepare the ship for departure. As the crew made final preparations, Teacher Ben and a delegation of vegans requested permission to board. Martinez welcomed them to the bridge, where Ben presented a small crystalline sculpture. This will resonate at the frequency of gratitude for 10,000 years. Ben explained, it is our highest honor. Martinez accepted this gift carefully. We will display it with pride aboard the Defiant. The children asked me to give you a message. Ben added, they say that in their stories, humans will no longer be called death agents. You are now life guardians. The formal farewell concluded, and the vegan delegation departed. Martinez ordered final preparations for launch, the mission officially complete. As the Defiant lifted off from Kepler 442b, leaving behind a colony forever changed by Earth's intervention, a new transmission came through. Captain, emergency signal from the Cygnus Rim, reported his communications officer. Another colony under attack. The Galactic Council is requesting our immediate response. Martinez studied the tactical display showing their new destination, halfway across the sector and far beyond Council peacekeeping range. Set course for the Cygnus Rim, he ordered. Maximum speed. Around him, his crew shifted seamlessly back into combat readiness, the brief celebration of victory giving way to renewed determination. Earth had found its place in the galactic community, not as conquerors or merchants, but as protectors of those who could not protect themselves. The Defiant accelerated toward its next mission, carrying Earth's Deathworlders to wherever they were needed most. From the observation deck, Martinez watched as Kepler 442b receded into the distance, its crystalline cities glittering like diamonds against the verdant landscape. Earth had sent its Deathworlders in response to a desperate plea, and in doing so, perhaps redefined what it meant to be human in a galaxy of peaceful species. The SOS had been clear: help us. And Earth had answered,